You know, there's a whole meme industry on people bullying each other on, you know, how big are the bags under your eyes? They're not big enough because you ain't grinding. And that's perverted to me. It's perverse. Anyone who's telling you that shit doesn't care about you. Man, it's good to be talking with Comedy Hype here in Atlanta.
I think the last time that we actually connected with you
was on my coast.
What has changed then? You know, what's been going on
since then?
Yeah.
It's the main change was I think I retired. I retired from comedy about 6 months after that shoot, and I did an announcement, and you know it confused a lot of people because they're like, what do you mean? But it was an interesting thing, man, because I think 6 months before that, when we did the shoot, I was grinding. You caught me mid, you know, rise and grind. I was in that mentality. I was caught in that loop. And I was working a lot, but I don't feel like I was doing my best work. I feel like I was working hard, you know, and I was missing a lot of moments in life, you know. And so when I did the retirement, I remember I was in Chicago and my grandfather had passed, but the whole week, he passed midweek, and I'd been promoting the show and come to my show. Nobody's paying attention, and then my grandfather passed. We were really tight, and he was a preacher and a person, you know, who used his words, you know, for his calling and his actions. And, you know, the promotion part was never something he really liked doing, and I have that in me also. I was like, I don't like doing this, and I don't feel like doing this anymore. It's not really that important. And I retired. I wrote a post up. You know, I was like, I'm gonna leave in a funny way. I wrote a statement, like a press release, but then there was no one to quit to because I'm a comic. We don't have like coworkers, so I just put it on Facebook and said, you know, I've had a great run, kept it positive, 10 years, made you guys laugh. I said, thank you for the laughs. And then that was it. And then I just sat back, you know, I didn't know how people would react. And then it was like watching my own, like, wake, like watching what people would say about you if you died. But you were alive, you get to see it. And people showed me love on the internet, which is trash. But people were like, not one bad statement. People were just bringing up memories that I forgot about, shows that I had no idea I did, from cities, you know, that I didn't even know I was in. And there were people from different parts of my life, and they were all just showing love. They were like, man, that just, you're too soon, man, don't leave. Some people were just saying, the best was when people say, oh, thank you, man, thank you for the laughs, you were great, and whatever you're doing, I know you're gonna succeed. So they kind of gave me their blessing that I had done enough. And I think it's easy to not give yourself that slack as when you're chasing a dream. It's easy to put your head down and grind, and there's a time to put your head down and do the work, but that grind, that whole idea I feel like that's a thing. There's some currency in society of bragging about how hard you're working and how little bit of sleep you're getting and how little bit of water you're drinking and how you're out working people, but you're not even showing the work. And so when I retired, it gave me a chance to sit back and think. And I started doing shit that I remembered I liked doing. You know, I like going out in nature and kicking it. I like getting a little high and just listening to music and thinking. And I think grinding's the antithesis of that, because you're busy grinding and telling other fucking people that they're not grinding enough. You know, there's a whole meme industry on people bullying each other on, you know, how big are the bags under your eyes? They're not big enough because you ain't grinding. And that's perverted to me. It's perverse. Anyone who's telling you that shit doesn't care about you. And I fell for it too, so, you know, I've been good is the short answer. I've been really good. And I because I was able to remember that. I like telling stories. I like art. I like dope shit. And I went to my artist homeboy, Michael Rababi, dope cat, he invited me to this photographer workshop. And this photographer, he was dope. He's done a bunch of books like photojournalism. Went to North Korea, South Korea like 3 times. He did this book, The Art of the Japanese Bath. Just dope shit that you forget all about because you're rising and you're grinding and you're going after your dream and you're doing this thing. But there's a whole world out there of cool shit. And anyways, this guy, someone asked him at this workshop, they said, what's your process now? Because he'd been doing it 30 years. And he said, when I was younger, I used to shoot a lot and then think about it later, edit it later. But now I think more and I shoot less. I mean, shit, even health benefit wise, the rise and grind, schedule, the idea, the where it's coming from, all of it is unhealthy. All of it is, it's motivated by a different thing than the product itself, whatever you want to say, the mission of what you want to say, the thing. Because I don't care if it took 1 hour for you to come up with it. Is it good? I'm not giving anyone advice. I'm not in the advice game. But I just know that this thing worked for me. And it feels good. And it bought me some time, like I said, to do the other things I want to do and tell stories in a different way. Because we have the time. Anyone says they don't have the time, you do. You have time for bullshit. You have time to be online all day, And so if you have time to step away from that and think about why you're doing something and what you're doing it for. That's where I'm at now. I mean, I'm 10 years into comedy, so I wanted to decide what the next 10 years are gonna feel like and look like. I don't know, but I know I have control over certain aspects, and rising and grinding for no damn reason is one of them. Especially to jump on some social media thing that's lame as hell. And I've done it. I know in my life, I like real life experiences. I like getting to a city like Atlanta. This is the first time I was here, and we did the Tabernacle, and then we went to Claremont Lounge, which is, I'm repping for that. Weirdo Central, those are my people. No, I didn't take a phone out. I didn't take no photos. I didn't need to tell people, hey, look, we here and we out here. It's like, man, no, you're not. You're online, and your avatar is doing it. So I want to get back to that, back to just enjoying real experiences, man, and making time for what's important and being grateful and all those things, and cutting myself slack. That's where the only advice I'm giving is for me, cutting myself slack. And I think we can do a better job of cutting the people close to us slack, and then, yeah.